Hey y'all, I'm Stacy Lynn and I am here with one of my very, very favorite people in the entire world, Creek Stewart.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, you do know about that. You do know about that. And he is an amazing guy. He can survive. You can put him anywhere and he can survive. Anywhere. Anywhere.
I don't know about all that now.
Yeah, no. Even on the moon you'd be able to survive.
Yeah, right.
You would. You could do it. There's no doubt. You'd build something and you'd live in it, some kind of shelter, and then he'd start growing some stuff because he would have seeds in his pockets because he's prepared.
Oh, okay.
And you'd have all of your little stuff somehow on you, whether it be a clip from the hair, whether, I don't know, but you would be able to survive. But anyway, I was super excited that I am able to get Jerusalem artichokes. We don't have them around here, although
Right.
I do think that we can grow them.
You absolutely
we
can
totally
grow them.
can.
Yeah, absolutely. They're native to the southeast.
See,
So it may be a little warm down here in Alabama, but they're definitely native to the North America southeast.
See, so what we're going to do is we're going to get started, and then I want you to tell me a little bit on how to grow them and how to plant them.
Okay.
While we're chopping these up.
Okay,
Now, what I'm doing, we scrubbed them. Now, this is get a close shot of that. Now they're bigger than this. Let me see if I have. Some of them can get really, really big. Bigger than that. I use those already. So I kept the little ones back for this because this is going to be great for little things. And I'm going to tell you something. I would put these in as an appetizer if I had a restaurant. They would just fly out of the door. I love them. They are so good. But anyway, we're going to clean them up a little bit by taking off the dark spots and kind of putting them over to the side. And then we're going to chop them into little pieces about this size. Okay? And then I'm going to throw them into this pan that I'm going to turn on. Let's turn this on.
All right. And it's not uncommon at all to find these in really nice restaurants.
Yeah, I can imagine. And so I'm going to put about 1/4 of a cup of water, and this is going to soak that up. So here you go. Keep on cutting and putting them over there. Okay, so tell us how to grow them.
Well, first of all, if you're not familiar with Jerusalem artichokes, they're kind of like a potato. Okay?
Yes.
They are a root of a plant called the Jerusalem artichoke, which has nothing to do with Jerusalem and nothing to do with an artichoke. It's just a really crazy name that potentially comes from mispronunciation over time and just kind of ended up being Jerusalem artichoke.
What was the other word?
I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head, but there's a long story that ended up being Jerusalem artichoke, but they're not
We're
from
going to write
Jerusalem.
that and put it on a blog post sometime when we find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they look kind of like potatoes. They're really crazy. They actually look kind of like ginger.
Yeah, they do.
I think.
They do. They sure do. And some people peel them and make mashed potatoes out of these. And so, they're really, really good that way. But this way I love because it's really fast.
Yeah.
And they're going to give you a great flavor.
Yeah.
So you can store them in the ground.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
don't
best way to
store
them.
well. These are best stored over winter in the ground, kind of dig as you need them. And the crazy thing about Jerusalem artichokes is that, like a potato has eyes that grows a new potato plant,
right?
That's the same way that these Jerusalem artichokes work. Yeah, and so if you leave them in the ground, this little root right here, if you look at this, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like 20 eyes on this
and
little
it's going to
Jerusalem
take
artichoke.
over. You don't want to plant them somewhere where you're not good with it taking over.
Yeah, it will definitely form a dense colony of Jerusalem artichokes, which is kind of a good thing.
Yeah, it is. Because they're high. They're not high in calories really compared to other stuff. But like if you were if you were worried about starving, it would be one of the higher calorie things.
Yeah.
Like, vegetables that wild stuff that you could eat.
And definitely substantial.
Yeah.
Versus like a dandelion green.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
mean, look at
exactly.
this. This came from my parents grew these. And these came from maybe half of one plant, and so you've got like a whole bag full of roots.
Now I'll tell you another thing that I did with these. And it's delicious. So if you have Jerusalem artichokes around where you live, this is amazing. So I caramelized some onions and got it really good and caramelized. And then I did the same thing here that we're doing with these Jerusalem artichokes, and I cooked them and got them all the way done though. And for probably about 15 minutes. This is only gonna take about 8 minutes here. And then I put them in a food processor with some cream cheese, the Jerusalem artichokes,
Okay.
salt and pepper, yogurt and sour cream, and it was amazing. And then
Yum.
you just grind it all up in the food processor, put it in the refrigerator for about 4 hours, and then serve it with your favorite chips, and it is really, really, really good.
This sounds good.
So, and you can have a hot sauce with this as well, where you do mayonnaise and you can make your own mayonnaise, you know, with just your olive oil and eggs and all. And then you can do the Jerusalem artichokes and a little bit of cheese and put it in the oven, and it's also got sour cream in it, and run them in the oven and have them, you know, cook in there, and then put cheese on top of it, and
Almost
it
like
is
a casserole or
yes,
something. Wow,
and
that
then you
sounds
serve
good.
it with chips too.
Like an
it is
all rotten
fantastic.
potato kind
Yeah,
of
it's
thing.
really, really
Sounds
good. So, you know, so that's really good. So what we're doing here is we're just getting these hydrated and letting them cook a little bit, and then
Okay.
soon all of that water will be gone, and we're gonna get rid of the artichokes into another plate, and then we're gonna make the sauce,
Okay.
and then we're practically gonna be done. So,
Okay.
you know, so there you go. Now, I also read that you can put these underground 24 inches underground, and they will not multiply. So you can
Oh, really?
store them,
Okay.
you know, underground. Now, I don't know, I've not tried it, but that's what they say. And so, and I think you could probably store these in sand, but I don't know that for sure.
Okay,
I don't know.
either. I
like
knew
outs-
that, I know
maybe
that
outside.
they don't store well.
Okay.
And if you
So-
don't know, if you don't have Jerusalem artichokes native to where you live, here's kind of a cool tip. You can go to a grocery store like a Whole Foods
Yes.
or an Earth Fair or a
Yes.
Fresh Market, kind of a high-end health food store. Sometimes they will carry these seasonally. You can buy the root and plant the root kind of like a potato.
See, and that's awesome.
Yeah, and
That
then
is
you
awesome.
can just have a lifetime
Yes,
supply
yes,
of these
yes.
Jerusalem artichokes.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's really,
Yeah.
really incredible, wild
Right.
plant that's been domesticated.
Well, and you know, it kind of reminds me a lot of garlic and sweet potatoes, because sweet potatoes, you know, are the same thing. And here in the South, so y'all don't do sweet potatoes, do you?
Well, you know, I've personally been getting more into sweet potatoes because it's kind of a healthier potato
Yeah,
option.
but do y'all grow them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
They do
okay,
really
okay.
well where we're
In
at.
Indiana?
Yeah, in Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, they do real well.
Okay, so I wasn't sure about that. But anyway, we have a lot of sweet potatoes, and then you have to cure them for 10 days, but you do not cure, you don't
No.
cure these roots. And
No.
I don't think you don't cure potatoes either, but the sweet potatoes they get sweeter. And
Right.
then they also multiply too. We've got garlic up on the
Yeah.
wall here, but you know, that's really cool to do too. And just to me, it's like amazing because you have this little bitty bulb
Yeah.
of garlic that you just plant in the ground, and you get just, I mean, not a bulb, but a clove, and you get an entire bulb of like 15, you know, out of each of these. And it's just amazing the multiplication with these root vegetables.
Yeah, so
it's just amazing.
if you end up planting them, definitely put them in some kind of a container or
Okay.
like some type of a bed that's got walls
Yes,
a few
yes,
inches
yes,
down,
yes.
because they will spread.
Okay,
But they have
yeah.
a really pretty bloom. They're actually a member of the sunflower family, so they've got like
And they call them
really-
a sunchoke. Is
Yeah,
that right?
sunchoke is another
Okay,
name for them.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and they've got
Okay.
like a really pretty small sunflower
Okay,
bloom, and
yeah.
but they're really tall, like 10 feet tall.
Wow.
Yeah,
No,
so-
I did not
yeah,
know that.
yeah,
I
they're
can't
really
wait.
big.
I'm gonna be doing this for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just like.
I
you
can smell them kind of.
Yes.
Sugar. or-
Yes. Oh, they're so sweet. I was so surprised.
Yeah.
You know, because it has this like really sweet, sweet flavor. So.
And I think the word that we're looking for there is inulin. That's
Wow.
the technical name
Okay.
for it. Yeah.
Inulin.
Which is a
Can
really
you say
kind of healthy
inulin?
alternative to
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah.
And carbohydrates.
Yeah, yeah.
so.
So it's really good. So I'm thinking the next thing I'm gonna do with these is make some kind of a dessert. I don't
wow.
exactly know yet what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something for sure.
You know,
All right, let me
you
see.
said that they're sometimes called sunchokes.
Yes.
I have another name that I sometimes call them.
What's that?
Jerusalem fartichokes.
Oh, I know, they're high in fiber. Yes, absolutely. That's a great name. by the
Yeah,
way.
so if you eat a lot of Jerusalem artichokes, get ready, because
Do a little
that
bit.
is the number one thing that that people say when they eat Jerusalem artichokes is,
But they're worth it. They're so worth it. Just take something beforehand and just eat them up, because
So,
they're so worth it.
they
Yeah.
definitely earned the name Jerusalem fartichoke. Okay.
That's awesome. That is just so funny.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay, so then tell us what else that you grow that's just so easy to grow that you plant or that you see that's just awesome that tastes great, but also
I love wild edibles,
Well,
so
I know.
I really do, so I'm always looking for wild edibles that I could incorporate into my yard's landscaping and things like that.
Which is great, and because I love to landscape with food, so we do a lot of like rosemary and around the sides, although it gets some kind of fungus here. I don't know what the deal is. I can't seem to keep it from doing that, so I've had to pull that up a couple of times. But I have like as ground cover oregano.
Oh, sure.
And it's beautiful. And thyme. Now, and thyme will die out in the winter, but my oregano, it'll come back. I mean, it's good. And then basil in the summer, and it looks beautiful between flowers and stuff like that. So I'm loving that. All right, so what we're gonna do is move this out. It's almost soaked up all of the. Can you see this?
And so you've waited till these are
much
really soft.
Yeah, and they're pretty soft. They're not completely, but they're pretty soft.
Okay.
And and I'm going to show you.
Is it just water that you've got in here? Okay.
It's just water.
Because it smells like it even has a buttery smell to it.
Yeah, it does.
So you don't put any butter in it.
Not yet, but I'm going to. So they're not really soft, but they're they're
kind of like
there.
an almost done baked potato.
Yeah, they could probably use a little bit more water, is what I'm thinking. But you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to leave them in here. Normally, I would move them out and make the sauce, but I'm not going to do that because they could stand to go a little bit longer. So put a little bit of olive oil just over it.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm going to put a little bit of butter in it. Yep. That's perfect. And then if we need more later, we'll get more. So what I'm going to do is just move this around in here, let it melt. Okay. So cast iron is great for this. I love this because in a few minutes, if you wanted them crunchy, they're not necessarily going to be very crunchy, although they're fabulous, but they're not going to be crunchy unless you put them in the oven. And I did this, and they were really great. They were creamy on the inside, and then they were crunchy on the outside, but that takes about 20 minutes, and which you wouldn't think because they're done. Yeah. But it takes about 20 minutes in the oven, and they get that way. But I like them really just like this too, straight out of here. So I'm going to let those cook for a minute, and then we're going to sprinkle it with some salt, and then we're going to put some balsamic vinegar and let it kind of soak that up. And it's going to be perfect, and they're going to be great. And I could just see taking this to somebody at a table if you had a restaurant, and then sprinkling some Parmesan cheese over the top. I mean, how great would that be?
At a restaurant, a dish like this would be $35 as an appetizer.
Yeah, it would. It would.
I'm really good at like identifying and finding plants like this, but when it comes to cooking them, like this is totally new information to me. The only way I've ever had Jerusalem artichokes is wild by a campfire or cooked like the most basic potato dish you can imagine, like a baked potato or like a really simple casserole or something. So this is totally new to me.
Well, you can also roast these. So I said to put them in the oven. You could do the same thing and just sprinkle them with Parmesan cheese or whatever, run them in the oven and bake them for like 20 minutes. That would do the same thing, but I like them on top of the oven. I feel like I have a little bit more control. And then later, if I wanted them crunchy, I just put them in the oven. And some of them got a little bit black when I did that, or when I do that, but I don't mind that. It tastes great. Okay. I mean, they're like so great. And wild foods are just like any other foods. I mean, they're fabulous. You just have to know how to cook them. And you know I do a lot of venison. Yeah. So we're having venison chili tonight. And so I love wild foods. But if you cook it like beef, it is going to be terrible. Sure. And if you cook, rabbit like chicken, and it's a wild rabbit, it's going to not, it just isn't going to be the same. You just cannot treat wild things quite the same as you can your domesticated animals. So I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of balsamic over this. All right, and it's going to caramelize.
Man, that smells good.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it smells really good.
Okay, and then you can do the honors of the salt and just.
Okay. So I have a funny story about Jerusalem artichokes.
Okay.
Just a couple pinches. Here.
Yep.
So a few years ago, I shot a show called Fat Guys in the Woods.
Yes.
And on one of the episodes, it was me and 3 other guys, and we had built this really tight-walled debris hut.
Yeah,
And
I remember
about
that.
the only thing we found to eat was Jerusalem artichokes.
Oh no! Oh, not all y'all guys.
And so
that is not good.
There's
that is
4
not
of
good.
us crammed in this airtight debris hut because the debris hut is designed to heat the inside with body heat. So you've got 4 guys who just pounded about a bushel full of Jerusalem artichokes and then climb into a debris hut for the night. Needless to say, we were...
It was bad.
We
it
were
wasn't a good smelling
we were busting
space.
down the door in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they were wanting to run for their lives.
Yeah, it wasn't because we were hot.
Yeah, that is good. That is very good. So now you have a show, SOS, and it's awesome, and I love seeing it. I have learned so much from watching it, and you use things from the car, you use things from whatever is around you. You're able to think. I think that's the biggest thing I've gotten out of it is that to calm down and think and not to get crazy and not to make rash decisions. Just to,
definitely
an
overwhelming repeating thread in so many of these survival stories, that's for sure.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And that's on the Weather Channel.
Yeah.
So y'all need to look it up, and you need to also subscribe. We're almost done.
Okay. This looks so good.
It's going to be great. And also subscribe to creekstewart.com or willowhaven.com. What do you you have like tons of stuff.
Yeah.
And he's got amazing things. If you're into learning about wild edibles, you also have a wild edible
I feel like I need to get my wallet out and just start paying her for this plug.
No, I believe in it. I totally believe in it, or I wouldn't be saying it, so no need for that. I totally, think that this is something that it's a lost art. And look at this, how beautiful it is. We're almost done here.
This really is looking awesome.
And but it's a lost art, knowing what to do with the things around you, being able to build things, being able to do things, being able to make artichokes. Now you could do this, all of it, over a campfire. You could do this. You could make a gourmet meal right over a campfire.
Absolutely.
All right, now I'm going to get. Do we have any Parmesan cheese? I'm going to go over there and see if we do. All right, just a second, and we're going to try to put that over. All right, we can probably kill the heat.
All right, kill the heat.
Kill the heat.
Oh, I think I just turned something else on.
It's okay if you did.
Okay, wait, I see it. Now you just saw about how comfortable I am in the kitchen.
You did great.
Now, if this was a fire, I would know exactly how to kill the heat.
Yeah, kill the heat. All right, so now we're just going to put them in here. And what I would do is sprinkle some oregano on top of this. And actually, I probably would have cooked it, and I do have it.
I'll be honest with you. It's hard to believe that these are Jerusalem artichokes.
Yeah.
I mean, this looks like something
Look at that. It's
that
amazing.
you would get at a restaurant.
Look at that. Now, I'm going to put the whole thing now to make it gourmet. You just sprinkle some like...
Well, this is kind of already gourmet to Creek Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
This is pretty gourmet.
Well, I think it's gourmet because it's wild. And I think that is like super cool. So there we go. And but by the way, which you probably know this, but making tea or anything else, take it from the top and pull it down. And
that's oregano?
Yes. And it's just like, it's my ground cover outside.
Okay, yeah. It's one of the very few herbs that actually comes back year after year.
Yeah, and it's great.
Yeah,
here too.
Yeah.
Okay, so now comes the time that we're going to try it out. There you go. And it may be too hot. I don't want you to burn your mouth.
That's all right.
Get one of the really crispy ones. Let's see. But it still may be soft. You can run these in the oven, believe it or not, for another 20 minutes, and they'll get hard on the outside and really creamy on the inside. Oh, good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. That is so good.
Mm-hmm. It's great. Well, this is Creek
No
Stewart.
joke. That is absolutely delicious.
It's really good.
I'm gonna pound this whole plate.
Yeah, I'm thinking it needs maybe a tad more salt.
It's so good.
Okay, and it would be
totally
great.
different from any Jerusalem artichoke I've ever. And I've eaten a lot of Jerusalem artichokes, and just like that is just totally different from just treating it like a. I kind of made the mistake of what you were talking about, like treating it like
a potato. But I mean, it could be treated like a potato, and you could put cream in that, and
But it's not, and this is really good this way.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't you see this as an appetizer?
Oh, for sure, and a $35 one at that.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. I think it would be great. Another way you could do it, you could shred this into shreds and then put it like with a cheese grater, put it into your pan, do it the exact same way, and serve it with like chicken over the top of it.
Oh yeah.
And it would be like noodles, but Jerusalem artichoke noodles with.
This is so good. That caramelized balsamic vinegar goes
so good.
It really transforms how this
It's
tastes.
great. Well, y'all, I have
Sorry
had
about
the
you.
best time with Creek Stewart. He is awesome. Go find him on the internet if you're new to him, which I can't imagine because he's amazing. And we will see you next time. Talk to you later. Bye.
See ya.